meeting for International Youth Day in Nigeria, 1 year for Delhi. So, I mean, thank you for inviting me to this platform. Over the years, I mean, I've watched her be very, very passionate about the cause for the earth, the environment, and I've seen how hard she works and all that. So again, I mean, I would like to really commend and congratulate her for all she does. My name is ADENIYAN. I've been in education all my life. So I mean, been a teacher at secondary school, been a lecturer, and I am very, very interested in a lot of youth courses, and which obviously environmental, my wealth, and Least Octano Prize is one of them. And again, like I said, I mean, the convener is very, very hardworking and very passionate about the environment we all seek to destroy. So again, I must commend her, especially in the Nigerian climate where no one really seems to care about what she's trying to bring to the table. She's almost like a lone prophet walking around and preaching the cause for the environment. So again, I mean, I'm glad to be here, and I hope to have an interesting discussion. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. KOLE, for making our time. Let's see if, okay, our special guest is not on yet. He's supposed to do some welcome talk, pep talk. That's Mr. He would rather be referred to as a Mr. Abayomi, okay? He's actually a lawyer. He was the chairman of the Youth Conference last year, the World Environment Week. And I literally worked with him in 2014 when I introduced the International Coastal Cleanup in Ibadan. He was then the special advisor to the governor of Oyo State on environment. And I think I was able to grow that relationship until today. So let's give him some time to settle in and join us. But we have the head of the communique drafting from the World Environment Week last year, talking about the youth. So I'm just gonna have Smith Nwokocha introduce himself.
Okay. Thank you so much. My video is not too good. I can't go on video. Just bear with me with the mood I am. I feel so honored to be here and to be a delegate for this program. Finally, you've been doing so much in this space. You've been adding value, and I just want to introduce myself. Okay, briefly, my name is Ambassador Smith Nwokocha. I'm a UN volunteer and a member of UNEP NGCY, which is United Nations Program for Major for Children and Youth. And I've been joining her also, you know, in the cause of what she has been doing, my own little way. So I'm so happy to be here and hope to have an exciting moment. I've seen the lineup of the facilitators, and these are amazing personality. Thank you.
All right, Smith, you're just going to, I want to share, I think you can see my screen.
Yes, I can.
The communique from last year. I think that's going to fill up for what the guest of honor was supposed to talk about, depending when he joins us. Let's see how we can review that. Because we were supposed to have the International Youth Day last year. Unfortunately, we couldn't pull that through, and interestingly, we're doing that today. So just hold on a bit, putting up the document.
Okay.
I'm sure you still remember what we drafted, just highlight.
I don't know if I can recall some of the, you know, but I know we talked about recycling and, you know, some other mechanism how technology can help in, you know, I think I can just flip through, but if we have the document, that would be better, because I know I was part of the team.
It's up. That's the document. Let's see. Okay, can you see the screen?
Yeah, I can see the screen, but I've not seen the document.
Okay.
What I see is pictures of the delegates and the facilitators.
Okay. I think I need to share now. Okay. That's it. So we talked about safe environments, waste to wealth, using waste plastic bottles and all of those.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you want me to read through? Or what do you want me to?
Could you just do? Okay, I'm just sharing this for everyone to see. And I don't know if we have some of the panelists from the last conference to know how far they have gone. It was supposed to measure their impacts after 1 year.
Okay.
Yes, I just wanted us to post that. I don't know, Mr. KOLE, are you ready? It's about 4:17 now.
Yes, I am. Just give me about a minute, and then I would share my slides. And not much of slides anyway, but just give me about a minute.
All right. Okay, so we had about 12 young people on the panel, and we were able to come up with, highlight some of the problems. If you can see the screen, we had issues about traumatized individuals. If they could get guide and mentorship, that would be a way to empower them through skills. We also had those campaigning for quality education. Mr. Smith, I think you should be the one. Yes, so, the document is before you.
Okay, right. Thank you for the opportunity once again to take this through. We had an amazing moment actually for last year. And this communique, so the first one we have here was safer environment is achieved through transforming waste to wealth by using waste plastic bottles for shelter to create furniture and drive innovation in the process. But for this, if I can reflect on this, I remember you were doing something like, I can't remember that, but like a plastic house or something, and you were taking out waste. Yeah, you were, encouraging the members of the public to donate their, plastic waste instead of throwing it away. And you were trying to gather that. I think that was part of what, like the impact of out of what we had from this communique. I think you've been doing
we've been able to start up a second one. That's the library at Etel.
Yes. Beautiful. Yeah.
So we're working on the second one as well.
Okay, beautiful. So we have evacuation of waste is not being managed and recycled properly. Hence, waste should be recycled and transformed for production. I think this is also not peculiar with our environment where we see, the waste are not properly managed. And you've been doing something in this space as well. Okay, hunger is a huge barrier in achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. So organizations are advised to use 10% of their profit and to feed or reach out to those on the street. That is the vulnerables. I say, I don't know how this has been working, but I know that the pandemic.
I think you started Voice of the Vulnerables. That's a new campaign.
Yeah. Yeah. So I had to. Okay. So, thank you for that. So, the impact of this as well, I had to start up a campaign. Yeah, Voice of the Vulnerable is an initiative. Yeah, we try to give out palliatives. So the vulnerables, we visit them. Apart from giving them palliative, we also sensitize them on how to prevent the COVID-19 pandemic. So we'll go with medical teams, medical doctors, and medical laboratory scientists, to also sensitize these young people. We're doing something in that field. So that is one of the impact of this. Yeah, thank you for reminding me for that.
Okay.
Okay, so we have traumatized individuals should be mentored guided and be empowered through skills acquisition and craft making. I don't know how far this is going, but so so it's also part of it. Okay, so healthcare is essential to fight against environmental hazards such as black soot. Therefore, we should keep our environment clean all the time. So we've been having this over and over here. I think after you've been championing, part of this Stop the Soot campaign in River State, and seeing how even the government.
We actually did the aloe vera project.
Okay.
Yeah, we're still giving out pots of aloe vera. It's just a way to reduce pollution in the homes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that was okay. I think that is even the good side of the pandemic, so to speak. Because of the pandemic, the environment has been relaxed a bit and pollution has been reduced, but it's a little bit back since the lockdown has been lifted. Okay, we'll talk about quality education for youths and teenagers. I don't know how effective this has been. Probably education has gone online a bit because of the pandemic. Yeah, so it has been virtual. I don't know the level of quality. I don't think that the vulnerable are able to benefit from that. I think only those that have opportunity to internet and that are, well armed financially, that have access to that kind of. So we just hope that the other part of the populace will benefit from this as well. Okay, more technology-driven waste startups and establish tech. Waste companies are encouraged to do more in the area of environmental health, safety, and sustainability. I think there are one or two recycling and waste environmental tech startups that have been able to, come out of this and communicate, and we've been having like a few number of them trying to pick up, and then, so we just hope we have more of them because of to sustain the environment. So we can reduce the amount of waste and find alternative uses for waste, thereby ensuring zero dumping of waste. Finally, you've been doing something in this as well, right? Part of what you're building and all that is also.
Yeah, we're trying to do advocacy, basically.
Awesome. So waste app, should be sufficient to the extent that this is also techie. Students as well as individuals should be encouraged to pick up waste plastic, and yeah, you've been doing campaign on tree planting also has been. So I think basically the impact of this communique have been achieved, maybe not 90% or 80%, but at least 50%. This has been helpful. So the impact for me has been positive in spite of the pandemic. I know the pandemic have been a little bit obstacle in achieving this, but as time goes on, we hope that we'll reflect back on this and maybe improve more on this. So members of the committee for this, okay, my name is Smith Mokocha, Esther Wankwo, Marcelina Ubi, Efreda Kevin Alauche, among others. So thank you.
All right, thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
I think everyone who attended the particular platform has been able to improve on themselves to a good extent. I mean, I know Ake Victor is still doing a lot with youths. Once Obetel has taken it a notch higher. Wajia Michael, Ibiganiv George Fente has taken her financial company to another level. She helps people save and all that. Augustine Glory is also doing crafts. And Ada Andrew. Okay, I guess Mr. KOLE is ready. So let's just move on because we're a little behind schedule. Yes, okay. Okay, Mr. KOLE, I think you can start.
All right, thank you very much, Ms. Afrinelli. I'm glad to be here, and it's a privilege to discuss with you guys. And you gave me a topic, passion, a prerequisite for sustainable business. And so I'm just going to talk about just the number of points and maybe give some examples. And then, I mean, we can all maybe share and join in the discussion. Hopefully, I mean, I don't overstep the time. Again, I mean, I must commend you for the work that you do. It's not easy doing what you do and being a lone ranger in more or less a lone ranger in a space whereby, I mean, loads of people do not actually kind of see any value in a sense. Especially, I mean, in the Nigerian space, I mean, trying to be an advocate for a cleaner environment and also, I mean, trying to enrich and empower youths. So again, I mean, so passion, a prerequisite for sustainable business. And I'm going to talk about a topic which I would call as a man thinketh. So I mean, when I was thinking about what to talk about, I thought about so many things, and this is what came to my mind. So as a man thinketh, I mean, that's probably maybe very old English, but it's pretty much, I mean, what I'm just trying to say is, as you think, so you are. And I'm just going to highlight some points about what I mean by, I mean, as you think, so you are. I think there's a popular, I don't know if some of you have heard this before, a popular quote that says, I mean, what your thoughts for, they become your words, what your words for, they become your habit, what your habits for, they become your character, and what your character, because I mean, that eventually becomes your life or your destiny. So again, I mean, for sustainable progress in business, I mean, obviously you need passion, but I think you need a whole lot more than passion. So personally, I mean, I'm going to put some points down, which I'll probably advise, I mean, from experience, that you should consider. So, I mean, obviously we live in a society or in a world today whereby, I mean, people, I mean, don't necessarily believe in God and all that. But I believe that the intelligent design around us, obviously, I mean, points to the fact that there's someone's mic that's on that seems to be.
Yeah.
So, I mean, so if you can mute your mics, I'll be very grateful. So there's someone's mic that's on. So I don't know, Afrodeli, can you mute your own mic from your end, and then I'll mute my mic again.
Okay.
Can you mute your own mics?
Yeah, I think I corrected that.
Okay, good. Okay, thank you. So, as I was saying, so we live in a society whereby, I mean, the God factor is not really put first, but I just generally believe strongly, and this is from my own personal experience. Everything in the world today, the world that we live in, points at intelligent design. So you can't possibly remove a creator from what we look at today. I mean, if as human beings we're creators, then I mean, it obviously makes me understand that there's something else. And I mean, we might not have all the answers, but I do believe, I mean, whatever you do, I mean, whatever your beliefs and all that, because I know, I mean, there's several different beliefs, and I don't necessarily discriminate on anyone's belief. Whatever you believe in, it's important to me to kind of, I mean, put God first. But again, God actually expects you to do the work. Again, as much as you believe in God, God is not going to come down to do the work. I mean, He's put you here to design and to create or co-create with Him. So again, I look at every human being as a creator of some sort. And whether we like it or not, I mean, we're creating something. So Afronelli has called us to this meeting today because, I mean, she's created something. And that's why we're all here to kind of talk and share our views. So as co-creators in the world that we live today, it's important for us to dream big. Dream big, but at the same time, guard your thoughts. Because remember my opening quote, I mean, as you think, so you become. And again, obviously, if your thoughts are wrong, then obviously at the end of the day, you would eventually align to a wrong destiny. So dream big. Dreaming is free. You can dream about whatever you want to become. You can lie down and dream about being the king of the world, You can dream about being, you can dream about anything. So because it is free to dream. You can sit down and dream about, driving in a Rolls Royce. So, I don't have a Rolls Royce right now, but yeah, I can dream about sitting down in a Rolls Royce now. I can dream about being on a private jet. But again, it's very clear that dreaming is not enough, because if you keep dreaming, you would eventually wake up from your dream and realize that you've achieved nothing. And that's why it's necessary to have goals. And having goals means having a plan at a basic level. Just have a plan. Have a plan on what you want to do. Okay, so maybe you want to grow a big business, but how do you start small? How do you scale it up and all that? So put that plan, and also make sure you have some perspective on how that plan can grow and evolve. Now, in the process of setting your goals, I would also advise that it's important to gain competence. And what do I mean by gaining competence? Study, ask questions, develop your skill set, sharpen it, become better than the person you were yesterday. There's something I always tell my daughters, and which is you're not in competition with anybody. You're only in competition with yourself. So again, be better than the guy that you were yesterday, and keep improving. And I believe that's what we have been called to do, to keep improving on who we are and developing ourselves. Then be innovative, because whether we like it or not, whatever we want to do is already in the world. Someone else has already done it. In fact, I can't think of anything that we have in the world today that is not an innovation. There's not something that has been done by someone else that we are just improving on. There's literally nothing. I stand to be corrected, but if there's anybody that can correct me on this forum or anywhere else, show me something that hasn't been done before, or that's not an innovation of something else. But again, be innovative. Whatever your ideas, whatever your plans are, look at someone that has done it differently and think about how you can put your own vibe to it, your own uniqueness to it. So again, if you know Afronelli as much as I do, there's something about her that has to do with how she tries to innovate and do her own thing. She has her own unique style, so to speak. And I believe as God's children, we should all have a uniqueness in us, whereby we shine, and we shine differently, because we're all called to be different and innovative. And very importantly, build relationships. Relationships are very, 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 very important, because really that's what's going to take you to the next level. Because when you build the right relationships, they're there as a sounding board. They're there to advise you. They're there to help you. They're there to connect you. So build good and sustainable relationship. And it is never too late or too early to start. Because I think one of the major problems that we have in the world today is that nobody wants to occupy the small space. We all want to be in that very attractive space, of being in the limelight, where we all look like celebrities and everyone is calling and shouting our names from the rooftop. But even the celebrities that we have in the world today, we got there through a space of time, through working on their craft over and over again, improving, building more relationships, connecting people. And I think, a lot of what I have put down as my points today kind of really talks about the convener of this conference, because I believe, she puts God first, she dreams big, she has goals, and over time she's gained competence in a space that because to be fair, when I met Afronelli and she was talking about all this environment stuff and all that, a couple of times I just tried to lead to the street in front of her to just literally piss her off, because I thought, what do you mean environment? We're all here to kind of just enjoy ourselves and mess up the world and all that. But again, she was able to educate me on the a lot of the values of what she was trying to talk about and what she was trying to give to the world. So again, I advise everyone to be innovative and build the right relationships. And again, as we think through this and as we think through, I mean, what we want to become and how our thoughts evolve over time, eventually, I mean, we build a sustainable business, we leave a sustainable legacy in the world, and we eventually empower the world and our destinies. Again, I'm just going to leave you guys with a couple of slides. Okay, so I'm just going to leave you a couple of examples of people that have done this, and obviously we know them. I mean, so at 15, Bill Gates had gone into partnership with his friend Alan to develop Data, a computer program that monitors traffic patterns in Seattle, Washington states in the USA. So that's Bill Gates at 15 and all that. And see, listen, I mean, you don't have to, because again, I know the world today tries to look down we older folks on the 15 CEOs, on the 30 CEOs, on the 12. In fact, I mean, on the 9 CEOs. So I mean, so if you're not in that 8 scale and you're way older, you begin to think, oh well, you know what? I mean, my life has passed me by. I mean, I wish I were 30 so I could become an under 30 CEOs. No, I mean, you can be anything you want to be at any time. So again, I mean, all you just need to do is believe in yourselves. And again, for those that have believed in themselves, I mean, we read the fantastic stories about them. So George Westinghouse invented the rotary steam engine at 19. The television was conceived by Philo Farnsworth when he was 14. In our own very Nigeria, Timilehin Daomi, before he was 16, living in Ikorodu in Lagos, had made prototypes of a vacuum cleaner, a pumping machine, a digital microscope, and last year, about 2 years ago, a prototype of a hydraulic-powered collapsible Fort Mainland Bridge for Lagos State. And Agogo Ajayan, a young man from Ogara and Delta, and Ayola in Ikorodu have been making prototypes of airplanes, drones, flying cars, and whatever. So again, my advice generally is believe in yourself. It is never too late to start. You don't have to have all the answers. And at times, I mean, you just have to have the idea. All you just need to do is have the idea and get the people together that are going to make that idea work. So, I mean, as smart as Bill Gates is, I mean, and I'm sure he's really smart, but I can bet my last dollar that, I mean, the Microsoft dream is not just Bill Gates alone. There are a lot of people behind it. So again, passion, be passionate, believe God, work hard, get people together, and achieve your dreams. Again, thank you very much, guys. And I'm grateful for the opportunity to speak to you all. And that's my 2 cents. So again, God bless. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. KOLE. All right. Yes, it's the International Youth Day, and I know we have a couple of probably have questions, but that would come towards the end. I think we'd have to move on to Sarah KOLLAR because we really have to move fast so we can work on the, we have an app that we need to learn how to use. In fact, for the upcoming project, especially for our new volunteers who just got recruited, you would have to, this is your first project, so take this very seriously because you have to deliver and deliver it well. Okay, so we'll just move on to Sarah. She's going to start with the benefits of volunteerism. I mean, I have a lot to say about that. For the past 8 years, all I've been doing is volunteering, and it's actually fun. Yeah, so we'll just move on. Once again, thank you very much, Mr. KOLE. I'm sure they're gonna have questions, but we'll take them towards the end. So we'll just plead with you to move on.
That's fine, thanks.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, Sarah.
Thank you, Raffanelli. Thank you, everyone, and thank you, Mr. KOLE. That was very inspiring, and it's tough to go after such a wonderful presentation, but I'll do my best, and I'll try to move through some of the slides that I have pretty quickly, and then I will try to demonstrate the app that Afanelli was just mentioning about data collection through beach cleanups and volunteering in that way. So I'm going to just share my screen again. I think I just had it up, but let me know if you can see a slide that has a sea star on it. Yes. Okay, great. Thank you. So again, I'll share my information at the end as well. So if I go over anything too quickly, I'll have my email address, and I would love to stay in touch with any and all of you who are on the call or watching on Facebook Live if you have any follow-up questions. Let's see here.
Okay.
Quickly, I'll walk through Ocean Conservancy's International Coastal Cleanup, as we have been partners with My Environment, My Wealth for I think a number of years now, and luckily have had the joy of connecting with Afanelli recently, and we have just been really excited to build and grow our partnership with you. And as Mr. Cole mentioned, I mean, sustainable development doesn't really start without fantastic relationships being built first. So, you know, that's what the International Coastal Cleanup is all about. And I'll talk about that a bit. And then I will get into the power of data and data collection, and really what volunteers can do to play a part in that and really have an impact. And then I'll talk a little bit at the end about some of the other opportunities that that youth can really volunteer and be active as well. So a quick little bit about Ocean Conservancy, who we are. We're a non-for-profit charity, or nonprofit, non-governmental organization based in Washington, D.C., United States. So that's where I'm joining you from. We do have some smaller offices around the U.S., and we do a number of program work that you can kind of see on the slide here. We really try to tackle the toughest issues that face our ocean. And, when it comes down to it, we might label the oceans different names, but it's really all one global ocean. And we're really in this fight together when it comes to some of the big issues that we face. And I know, I forget who mentioned it, but definitely the Sustainable Development Goals play into all of these fronts that we work on. I specifically work on the Trash Free Seas program, and that's what I'll focus on here. But really through our mission, which I put our mission at the bottom, and I noticed this with your communique from last year's conference. This is about more than just the wildlife that we love in the ocean. This is about the ocean as a resource for all of us, and we know that it supports all of our communities, and we need to think about people as we're thinking about solutions, especially when it comes to the ocean trash and marine litter problem. So I did want to focus on that too, that it's really for us, because the ocean, we depend on it for the air that we breathe and for a lot of the food and other resources that we take from it. So for the Trash Free Seas program, I've just put our mission there, but really what we're doing, we're working on an issue, on a new topic that it's actually quite new, because plastic and plastic pollution hasn't really been around for that long. So it is the one program that we're kind of known for internationally, and it's the one program that youth are really active in, and it's really exciting to see their creative minds working and figuring out these innovative solutions. And as Mr. Cole said, this is one topic that we really don't have all the answers for. We probably have more questions than we have answers. So any of the information and the data that volunteers and youth volunteers collect really does help answer some of the most basic questions that we're still trying to figure out about where trash goes once it's in the ocean, where it ends up, and how we can stop it from polluting our beaches like we see here. So Ocean Conservancy, we really are founded in science. We try to support and work with scientists who are delving into trying to answer some of these questions. You might have seen there was a recent study, and I can share the paper if anyone's interested in reading the full text. But a recent study in 2015 found that approximately 8 million metric tons of plastics are entering the ocean each year. And for me, I mean, I can't even wrap my mind around that. So to give another example or way to visualize that, that's about one dump truck full of trash every minute. So this is a problem. This is an issue that we're definitely not seeing slow down in any way. And we know that it's an issue that we need to stop at the sources, and future generations, youth today, they will still be dealing with this issue. Hopefully they will in their lifetime find those innovative solutions that we're all working towards to kind of stop this flow of trash that's ending up in our marine world. And I think everyone here, it seems like we're very well versed in the topic of marine litter and plastic pollution. So I won't emphasize this too much, but we do all know the impacts. They're devastating, they're far reaching. They don't see country lines, they don't see ocean lines, it's everywhere. We're finding trash in all corners of our planet. So it's something that is top of mind, and an issue that really there are lots of avenues and openings for youth and for innovators and anyone of any age to get involved. And I do like to put this graphic on the side here that can connect the issue, even if you're not on the coast. We find this a lot in the States, that people feel that if they live inland, it's not an issue for them, but really trash does travel, we're finding, and about 80% of marine debris starts on land. So we do like to educate, especially youth, with this issue, this idea of, you know, trash can travel through canals, down storm drains, especially from urban areas, and it can make its way into the ocean as well. So it's really a people problem, and it's all of us collectively, not just people who live on the coast and see the problem every day. And there are solutions, which is the great part. And there are already solutions in place. And Efrenelli had asked me to kind of talk about some of these examples. And I do have a few examples in some coming slides that of youth having taken action and really made some real change. But these are kind of the steps that we look at, that Ocean Conservancy looks at. And we're trying to work in all of these areas to basically intervene on the waste problem. And throughout all of these steps, it's working with people, it's working with communities, and it's working with all of the different sectors around waste management. And I think what really makes this tricky and why it's still a problem today is that these kind of elements of the problem that we need to tackle are different everywhere that we go in the world. So it's going to be something that youth are important to this problem and to the key to this solution, because it will take working on a community level. And we find that youth are really empowered and important in swaying their communities and identifying the specific issues where they live. And I have some images here. We have some outreach programs that I can share more about maybe offline if you're curious about any of these initiatives. In the States, we have grappled with plastic straws for a while. So there are a lot of initiatives around reducing that single-use item, and a few more kind of campaigns like that in the works. So I won't read all of this, but I did want to provide this slide, and I can share my slide deck as well. But Efrenelli had asked me to really think about and share some ideas around how youth can specifically get involved around this issue and how you might volunteer. And what I would say here, and I think Mr. Cole emphasized this really well, is just being a voice in your community, showing that you care, educating yourself, becoming educated around the issue, and simply just talking about it with family, with friends, and with community leaders is, I think, the most important step that we can take. I think now, especially in a digital world, and now with more and more of us online, given the COVID pandemic, I think there's a lot of room for innovation and communication, and we're seeing it in social media. We're seeing the issue being raised there. And as ocean conservationists and scientists, it's exciting to see that it is becoming general knowledge and that people are concerned about what's happening to their ocean, and they see that connection between their health and the ocean's health as well. So now the International Coastal Cleanup, I'm not sure, some of you, it sounds like, have participated in it for years. Efrenelli, it sounds like you are very well versed in this, obviously as the leader on the ICC, but I did want to show some of the faces behind the cleanup, because it really is an event that we are really proud of. This will be the 35th year of the event, and it's a really wonderful tradition that has kind of blossomed into its own movement. And it doesn't really need Ocean Conservancy that much at all, because it's all volunteer and community driven. And as you can see in some of the images, it's volunteers from all walks of life, all ages. They're getting out on boats, they're scuba diving underwater for debris, and it's just really inspiring. And I have the pleasure of being in this role and seeing not only these images come in every year from the annual event, but also the numbers and the data behind what exactly volunteers are finding worldwide. And I'll talk about the importance of that in a moment here, but it is, you know, it's always special for us to see the passion grow each year, and the number of volunteers globally has been increasing. We hit 1 million volunteers in the 2018 International Coastal Cleanup, and that was just because of individuals everywhere going out, cleaning not only their coasts, but their waterways and their lakes and their neighborhoods. You don't even need to be by the water to take part. And traditionally, the International Coastal Cleanup is in September. It's usually the third Saturday in September. But now, and especially this year with the pandemic, we make it more of a season. So we celebrate it whenever people can get out and clean, and we count data from September through October and even into November. And here are just some of the global top level stats that we have been able to achieve together throughout the 35 years of the International Coastal Cleanup. And these numbers are really telling that people, and that youth especially, the next generation, they care about this issue, and they're going out and they're volunteering their hours to make a difference in this issue. And just to give you a snapshot, since we are celebrating International Youth Day in Nigeria, I wanted to show you some of the statistics from last year's cleanup in Africa and a few neighboring island nations, just so that you can get an idea of the impact that we're having and just the sheer number of people that are coming out. And I love to look at the column about the items collected, because it's really important to show and to acknowledge and thank volunteers for their effort of actually marking all of those individual trash items. And it makes a difference, and it helps drive solutions. So now I'll get to kind of the bulk of what I wanted to talk about and what Efrenelli wants me to share with you. And that is the data collection that comes with cleanups. And really, I should say that this app that we've created, Swell, it is based off of a paper data card that we have. So a paper data card is always going to be an option if you want to do a cleanup. And so we do want to make sure that volunteers feel empowered and feel like they have access to any of the materials that they might need to do a cleanup of their own. And it doesn't have to be just during the International Coastal Cleanup Day or season. This app, we really built this for people to volunteer and collect data any time of the year. And like I mentioned, anywhere in the world. It doesn't need to be on a beach or on the coast. So I'm going to switch my sharing of my screen so that I can actually share the app with you and walk through it with you from my phone. So let me just stop sharing that, and I will share a different screen now. Hopefully technology is on my side today. One moment. Okay. So hopefully, let me see here. Do you see, oops. Let me try that again. All right, can you see a phone screen? Yes, oh good, and some people have the app open as well. That's great. Okay. All right, can you see, you can see my phone screen now, and I have the Swell app is just the only thing shown. I just want to make sure. Okay, great. So Efrenelli has seen this before. I do like to walk through this with International Coastal Cleanup partners from around the world, and also just average volunteers that want to know a little bit more about how the app works and where the data go. So this is Swell. I'm going to click on it here and it'll open up. Feel free to follow along with me if you have the app downloaded on your device. It is free and it's available on iPhones, on Android phones. It should be available on most smartphone devices. And when you open up the app for the first time, it'll ask you to create an account. And once you do that, you stay logged in. So I open it up and it says, you know, welcome, Sarah. I'm already logged in. And really the goals behind this app were, one, to make data collection fun. And we did that with adding badges and different ways that volunteers can earn badges.